Hello and welcome back to this Speos crash course. In this video, we will create a rendering, or to be more specific, a luminance simulation. We will use the same model as previously. I will just hide what we have done until now and start by rounding this edge using the pull function. So I can just drag and enter the desired radius. So coming back to the light simulation tab, we've got our geometry with its optical properties already assigned. We now need to move to the next step, which is creating sources. We will create an ambient source. Typically, the environment source is very useful. It loads a HDRI emitting light all around the scene. But for the sake of simplicity today, we'll create a natural light, which creates a sky and a sun source. So this type of source needs to know the zenith direction, which is in our case Z, and we give it a place and time so that the sun is shining at that place and time. So here is our sun shining on our scene. Again, you can hit Z to reframe, and I'll just zoom in and hide this source for now. We've got a source. The next step is now to create a radiance sensor, which requires a coordinate system to fix the frame of this sensor. So let's create this coordinate system and position it where we need it. We'll go back to the design tab and create an origin or a coordinate system. This can be attached to any geometry, and I'll attach to the global coordinate system down here. And now select it, move it in order to rotate it and position it where I want it to be. So I will start by rotating it 15 degrees in this direction around the y-axis, and I'll pull it out 100 millimeters so that this will be the reference for our frame. And I'll finish by just rotating the sensor around the Z direction so that Y is pointing upwards so that I can have my sensor correctly oriented. I'll now show the sensor again, double click to edit it, and I'll fix my sensor to this coordinate system by selecting this button, activate it, and select the coordinate system. As a help, we can activate automatic framing, which allows us to see what the sensor is seeing from that point of view and can give us a hint to adjust the size. In the definition panel, I will change the sensor type to colorimetric so that we have a colorimetric result. And I will change the resolution of my sensor to 0.1 millimeter. Be aware that we need to do this in both directions so that my end pixels are nice and square. So that's it for the radiant sensor. You can hit escape a couple of times to go out. And we are now ready to create the simulation. For a rendering or a simulation of that kind, an inverse simulation is required. So the inverse simulation propagates rays from the sensor to the source, which in a case like this converges faster. The physics stay the same as in the direct simulation. It's still non-sequential Monte Carlo ray tracing, just the computation direction is inversed. So we need to select our geometries, light sources, and sensors. This is what we're doing here manually. I can select them as always from the tree or from the 3D view and check that they are assigned down here. So we could now just go ahead and hit compute or even GPU compute to run on the GPU, but we'll do something a bit more fun. We'll highlight the simulation and launch Preview. This launches the simulation in a separate window in what is called progressive rendering. So go at the bottom right of the window just to activate human vision, or if you don't have the license, change the automatic adaptation and set it to a fixed value. So the simulation is now running on the GPU, and the rays are added to the screen, added to the results progressively as we watch it. I can move around in my results, turn around, and the simulation just starts again in this progressive rendering mode. So what we see here is the horizon with the sun and, in our case, a dark ground. If you like a point of view in particular, you can export it as a new sensor and use it later on in a future simulation. You can also add several sensors to have several predefined point of views and switch between these. Same with the sources, you could have several sources and combine them using the virtual lighting controller. With this little button, you can save the given view as an XMP file, which can be later on analyzed in the virtual photometric lab, just like we did in the direct simulation, in order to perform measurements. So if we now zoom in on our results, I'd like to bring your attention to one point in particular. You see this shape and also this part of the result, which is uneven. This is due to meshing. So let me just close the result and show you the default mesh parameters that we have chosen. Currently, we have used the default mesh parameters, which you can visualize by clicking the geometry down in the definition panel and with a right click preview meshing. This is a pretty coarse mesh that we will now refine in order to get a more smooth result. Right click on the simulation options, and you have here the different meshing parameters. We'll change the step mode to fixed with a maximum step value of 1 millimeter. If you now check the meshing, it is much finer, and this will also be considered in the final result. So if I relaunch live preview, my geometry is meshed, the progressive rendering simulation starts, I activate human vision, and if I zoom in just a bit, I can see that I've now got a smooth result. So with this, we created our first rendering simulation, a luminance simulation. Thanks for watching.